Hello everyone, welcome to another live stream here at my YouTube channel. I'm so glad you're here. Before we get into today's card, which I have planned, I've got some things prepped. I wanted to remind you all that there is a new postage mail chart, a postage calculator chart. I updated it last week. It was updated on the 20th, so a week ago. There is a link down in the video description for you to download this free PDF that will help you calculate how much postage you need for your envelopes that you send out with your cards. So today we're going to be creating with mostly the Retro Flowers bundle of products that came out in July, and then we're going to add a die from the Petal Pop. So I was going through some of the videos I already have filmed for you guys that I need to edit, and I realized I have I'm seeing glue on my mat here. That's annoying. I realized as I was going through all the cards that I have ready to share with you guys that I actually have two cards made with the Retro Flowers bundle that I made with my members here at YouTube. So some of you have seen it. But I wanted to share today's live plus the other two videos this week. So this is me committing to you. This is Retro Flowers week. I'm going to have two more cards for you this week using this same bundle that you're going to see tonight. And interestingly, both of the other two cards have similar color palettes, which is kind of weird. Different colors used, different mediums, different ways of adding color, but they're very similar. So today I'm going to be using the Retro Flowers stencil pack. I'm also going to be using the dies. And then just because I want to add a little bit of a rickrack frame, I'm going to be using the Petal Pop Dies. So I'm going to be using all three of those products today with a bunch of Concord and 9th inks. So we're going to start with doing some stenciling. And I'm actually going to be stenciling on top of colored cardstock. So this is Shortbread. This is the Shortbread color of cardstock from Concord and 9th. I haven't put a little label on my little storage pocket here yet. But this is a half sheet of Shortbread cardstock. It's kind of like this really pale, creamy yellow. Very retro. And I'm going to be using kind of retro colors today, so it works really well. Okay, we're going to put my Altenew grip mat. So this is what it looks like. It does a pattern like that. We're going to use the one here at the bottom that does the whole design all at once. And we're doing that because it's just going to simplify how much stenciling we have to do for this card. All right, so I've got the main design here. And the other card that uses stenciling that I'll be sharing this week, it uses all the separate colors. So if you're wondering how the different layering works with this particular stencil set, you'll see it in a video later this week. I like to use these Altenew corners. I put this up in the corner just so it keeps track where it's at, just in case I have the stencil lifting. It's more important to do that when you're doing all the layers, but this is just one stencil, so I'm not too worried about it today. Using an ink stand, and here are the colors that I'm going to be using today. They're kind of rainbowy, but altogether they're kind of retro. All right, we're going to start with Surfside. I'm using my big Pinkfresh blending brushes. These are nice and soft. Get some ink going here. And I'm just going to come in here and start ink blending. I'm kind of going to go in circles, and then I'll reverse the direction of my circles. Like right now I'm going counterclockwise, and then I'll switch to clockwise. This with a microfiber cloth, and then I'll pull up the stencil just because there's a lot of ink on the surface of the stencil as well as on that up there. Okay, now I can pull up the stencil. It did pretty good. It looks like right here got a little stencil moved a little too much, but not bad. So here's our background. I'm going to cut it using some circle dies. So my card today is a 5x7 card. I'm just using this 5x7 piece of cardstock just to use as a guide. Then I'm going to pick out some circles. So I think I want a little bigger than that. I want like a circle like right there. And then that one's too big. We'll go to this next one. I want one about right there. And I think I'm going to do that one twice, so it'll be up there too. Then this next one, actually I want a little smaller. It'll be about like that. And then we'll do like a super small one up there. Now if I use the same circle up here, okay, so it'll be a little bit more like this. The biggest circle, I'm thinking I want to get as much color on it as possible. I'm hoping I can get all these circles cut out of this. We'll see. I might have to slide them around a little bit. Like we'll put that one right there, that one right there. We have to have space for that one again. So if I put this right here, like yellow up there, I think that looks nice. Okay, we'll cut these out and then we'll use that circle again in that corner. I guess we'll find out if it transfers. All right, I love the really colorful circle. So great. Okay, I feel bad we lost quite a bit of the green, but you know what? It makes me wonder if I should cut that right there just to get a little more green, just in case I want to use it. We'll do that. And we'll also cut, maybe we'll cut this down here just to be safe. I don't know that I'm going to need them, but while we got it out, might as well. And I'm seeing there's a little bit of ink. Do you see this? Some ink transfer on the dies. So before I move on, I'm going to wipe these down. Let's see how that comes off. I'm going to wipe these down with a baby wipe. Just clean up these dies because otherwise I'm going to go to cut the next project and surprise, color you were not planning on. Probably not the most effective way to clean these. In fact, I'll do this. And then once they're all on there, then I can just go like this. Oh yeah, that works better. Oh yeah, you can see all that color come off. And then I'll just make sure to let these dry completely before I put it away. Wow, that's crazy how much color came off. I do have a border planned for this card. I think we should go ahead and cut it now so that we can use it while we are arranging the card itself. So I'm going to use the 5x7 rickrack frame with some hazelnut cardstock. So in the Petal Pop die set, there's quite a few frames. You've got a circle, a square. This one right here is sized to be just smaller than an A2 card, and the larger one is just smaller than an A7 card. So I'll take my hazelnut cardstock and my die. I'm just going to cut out a border. I'm going to make sure that it's at a diagonal in comparison to the rest of my cutting plates, so that as I feed it through the die cutting machine, by the way, the area that might still be wet is face up. As I put it through the die cutting machine, it will go through at an angle. The die cut is still in the die because this one tends to stick. But if you like hit it against your desk, it will pop out. So now I have the main elements. So this frame, and get the cat fur off the paper. This frame is going to eventually be adhered on just like this, but I'm going to adhere it after I have the circles on. Okay, so I'm just going to get these kind of arranged how I want them. All right, we want the green more near the top. Needs to come to the side a little bit more, about like this. And then we'll put the sunflower one up here at the top, just like nestled in. All right, so we're going to put this border on about like that. But just like my other thin frame borders, sometimes it helps to use the negative so that you can get everything on there just right. So I'm going to use a little bit of this tape here. Put that on the back, just so I'll be able to pull it up later. And I'm going to get it centered on my 5x7 card front, just about like that. And I'm going to go around with a little bit of liquid glue, and then I can just put the frame on. So it's going to be pretty thin. My glue is being weird. There we go. So I'm just going to do like every other little bump, there's a little dab of glue. I do plan to stack up this border to give it a little bit of weight to it. Okay. Probably can't even see all those glue dots, but they are there. And then I can just come in and puzzle piece the border on exactly where I want it. Lovely. Just kind of holding that so it can adhere, and then I can pop up that corner and remove the center area. And that makes it so it's a little easier to make sure you get your frame on there just right. Okay, so I need to cut off the excess on the sides here. I'm going to grab my little self-healing mat and a ruler. You could also use scissors, but these are kind of really big areas, so I didn't want to run the risk of having a really crooked edge here. Just really light pressure until all of it is cut. Okay, here we go. I'm stacking the border, and through the magic of television, no, it's the magic of prepping, I actually have the 3 other borders that are ready to go. So I'm going to glue those onto the card right now, and I'm just going to do just some little dabs of glue, just in different areas. I really do like it stacked up. It looks nice. You can kind of see there's quite a bit of glue coming out on the edges here. We'll take a look when the card's completely finished, because maybe that glue will be completely dry at that point, and then you'll be able to see really how much glue is shown. So we're going to be cutting a greeting from the Retro Flowers dies. We're going to do this thank you. So we're going to get the words in Shortbread. So it's the same color as the cardstock that I used for the ink blending. And then the outer shadow area will be cut using Hazelnut. All right, but don't you worry, I've cut all of them out already. All right, so we're going to do 4 layers of all the letters as well. But if you've never seen me stack die cuts, hopefully this will be a good example of how you can do this really easily and quickly. You'll be amazed at how fast these actually stack and adhere together when you do it this way. Like after I have this going, let's turn on a timer and see how long it takes me to stack all of them. Okay, and let's start. So just over 5 minutes. That's not so bad. All right, I'm trying to remember. I want to say when I did this last time, it was easier to like stack them individually on the like background. All right, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue right on the shadow layer. It's easy to see where to add the glue because of the scoring. The last little bit on here. Really press those down. Put that down right there. I just put my glue away. All right, I'm just gonna glue this thank you right here. In fact, maybe I want to pop it up on foam. No, I think I'll just have it be glued down because it's already like pretty thick. A little bit of glue. Oh. And we'll just put that right there. Just kind of like centered, but more near the bottom. Put that right there. So here is the finished card for today. You can see how much those letters are stacked up. Not the best stacking, but I was on a timer. You can see the border there too. I think this is a really fun way to use like a really colorful stencils background, cut it into different shapes. I think you could do it with squares, circles. I think it'd be really fun if you did like a holiday background, like out of greens and teals, and then cut a bunch of like Christmas tree shapes, and you can have them going all the way across. It's just like a different way to use patterns, and especially patterns you've made yourself. So all the supplies are listed down below in the video description. Thanks so much for watching today, and watch out for those 2 other videos this week using retro flowers. It is Retro Flowers Week, and you're going to see all of those card examples throughout the week. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you guys next time.